starting on a new project and we need to first peel off the acrylic. We're going to be using two different colors of acrylic here, and the first thing that we're going to do is cut out all of the pieces that will fit into pockets on an orange piece of acrylic later. Here we're using the 51441-K 1/16 inch spiral O-flute upcut bit, and this is going to cut out all of the main parts. Then we're just going to peel the plastic off of the orange acrylic, and then we're going to use the 51404-K 1/4 inch spiral O-flute upcut bit. This is going to cut all of the pockets to receive the black pieces of acrylic. We'll just follow up with the same 16th inch bit to go ahead and get those corners all rounded over so that the acrylic pieces fit in there really nice. Also helps with all of the smaller details. With all of the pieces cut out, we can go ahead and flush trim the tabs that were left on some of the black pieces of acrylic before going ahead and installing them into the orange acrylic. To do that, we're just going to use some super glue. I've got some Titebond super glue here that I'm using in some of the larger areas, and then for the smaller areas I have Starbond with the fine tip on there, and this does a nice job holding down these pieces. With the actual acrylic portion of this done, it's time to turn our attention to the frame of it. We're using the RC2255 flattening bit to go ahead and flatten this piece on both sides. I don't have a planer or jointer in my shop, so this is kind of my way of getting around that. You can see the piece is perfectly flat. Then I just built a quick little jointing sled on the table saw. The straight edge of the MDF runs up against the fence and the clamps hold it down tight. With one face already jointed, we can go ahead and use the fence to joint the other face. You can see it's perfectly square. Then we're just going to need to cut the rabbet in there using the 49352 multi-rabbet 4-flute bit. It has different ball bearings that you can put on there for a different size rabbet, and then we're just feeding it through the SawStop router table. And then I need to go ahead and cut the dado in for the actual acrylic piece to fit in, and then it's time to cut the miters. For that, I'm using the 80-tooth fine trim blade and just using some woodpeckers, a drill to go ahead and set the spot that I need, and then getting everything all nice and trimmed. You can see with the stop on the sled, it makes this a really nice repeatable process. While it's not assembled, we went ahead and sanded everything, and then it's time to glue up this frame. I'm using some blue tape to help assist with this, and we will be reinforcing it with splines, so the strength doesn't matter here. It's just about getting it glued up. So we got the spline jig set up on the table saw, and we're using the RB1020C flat top grind blade to go ahead and cut those slots. It leaves a really nice flat bottom, and it makes it easy to slot in the actual splines. We're going to use some cherry for that because I like the contrast between cherry and walnut, and then using the bandsaw to go ahead and get all of those splines cut. With the mallet, we're just going to tap those in with a bit of glue, and this will greatly strengthen these miters and prevent them from coming off at any time. The 57187 3/4 inch 4-flute flush trim bit is set up in the router table. We're just going to go ahead and get those splines all flush trimmed. It leaves a really nice clean finish, and only minimal sanding is necessary to get everything else cleaned up. So we got the Festool ETUS 150 to go ahead and do that little bit of sanding, and then the Gator Micro Zip to go ahead and round over all of those corners. Got the LEDs set up here. I'm just using the adhesive back, and then I installed a few clamps on there as well, but everything looked really nice. And then the only thing left to do is install that back panel onto the actual piece. We got the 55227 Nomar countersink, and we're ready for finish. So this is Odie's oil. You just wipe it on and then buff it off after about 40 minutes for a nice matte finish. It comes out really nice, and I absolutely love the way that it makes walnut look. It's a really pretty cool finish. So this piece is all wrapped up. We've got the French cleat installed on the back, and then we'll just hang it on the wall, and it's really satisfying to see this turn on for the first time. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this project. We will catch you guys back out here on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.